If you've just bought an expensive lens and you're wondering whether you should put a UV filter on it, this video will save you from making a very expensive mistake. Some photographers swear by protection filters, others say they destroy image quality. So who's right? In the next few minutes, we'll break down the science, the myths, and the real-world data, and by the end, you'll know exactly whether you need a UV filter, and if you do, which one makes sense for how you shoot. For photographers and filmmakers, there's nothing like that new lens smell. Knowing the front element is pristine and ready to shoot into strong backlight. Much like insuring a new car before driving it off the dealership floor, your brand new lens should have a layer of protection before its first shoot. The goal is simple: keep the front element pristine and create a crumple zone if disaster strikes, especially in a front element impact. We're talking about UV or protector filters. And if you browse YouTube comments or photography forums, you'll quickly see how polarized opinions are. Protector filters are almost as controversial as Canon versus Nikon or Apple versus Windows. So let's get into the facts, history, and real-world data so you can decide for yourself. Most manufacturers produce both UV filters and what they call protector filters. So which should you buy? To answer that, we need a brief look at history. On film cameras, ultraviolet light could negatively affect highlights, especially in bright conditions. Photographers used UV filters to block this light and correct the issue. By coincidence, photographers also realized that these filters provided physical protection. If a lens fell or took an impact, in many cases the filter absorbed the damage instead of the front element. That secondary benefit eventually became the primary purpose of these filters: lens protection. With modern digital sensors, manufacturers introduced low-pass and high-pass filtration in the sensor stack, making external UV filtration largely redundant. Despite that, UV filters remained popular because the protection function still mattered. Today, most manufacturers, including NiSi, now offer both UV and non-UV protector filters. So, does the UV layer affect image quality when your sensor already filters UV light? According to independent photospectrometer testing, it has no visible impact on the image quality. So from a practical standpoint, choosing UV or non-UV does not affect optical performance. Let's move on. Now that we've settled the first argument, let's move on to the one that really matters: image quality. The strongest argument against UV filters is that they reduce image quality. This usually stems from three situations. The first is low quality filters with poor glass. Second is damaged, scratched, or dirty filters. And the third is people who examine images at extreme magnification without considering real-world shooting conditions. We've all seen those comment threads. It's important to refer to measured data rather than anecdotal opinion. Modern premium UV filters achieve up to 99.9% optical transmittance and show no visually perceptible optical degradation. It's worth noting that most reputable manufacturers have their filters independently tested. For instance, NiSi's filters are tested through the local Optical Engineering University faculty, and the results shown in this video are from those independent tests. With high-quality glass and proper coatings, image degradation is not a practical concern. So we've settled image quality. But image quality isn't the real reason most lenses fail over time. Let's look at what actually happens in the real world, and then I'll show you which filter makes sense for how you shoot. The second argument you'll often hear is, you don't need UV filters, just take better care of your lenses. Unfortunately, this doesn't work for most people. In reality, wear happens in three categories: invisible wear, invisible wear, and disaster. Visible wear includes any contact you are aware of, like bumping into objects, improper lens cap placement, contact with equipment or surfaces, or occasional cleaning with clothing. Modern coatings are durable, but over time, repeated contact causes small imperfections. Invisible wear is contact with a front element that you are unaware of, and it can be more common, especially for newcomers. Have you ever cleaned your lens without blowing the dust off first? This can grind microscopic abrasive particles into the coating. How often have you opened your backpack or camera case to find a lens cap has fallen off? When this happens, the front element is often in contact with the inside lining of whatever you carry your gear in, or even worse, the abrasive edge of the lens cap. A good example is my GFX 100 after 6 years of use. Even with good care and no drops, wear is visible all over the body, simply from friction with the inside of the backpack. Over time, these microabrasions accumulate, and eventually shooting into strong light sources may introduce unwanted flare or artifacts. Disaster happens when there's impact. You drop your camera or lens, or the tripod blows over. If you speak to the camera supply and service industry, you'll find that front element damage is more common than people realize. We get weekly messages from people saying a UV filter saved their lens from a fall. When that happens, replacing a front element involves specialized glass, shipping, and labor, and is often not economically viable. In many cases, a protection filter can absorb that impact instead. Yes, it is possible to keep a lens pristine without a UV filter, but this requires exceptional care. For most working photographers and filmmakers, a protection filter shifts wear from the lens to an affordable, replaceable component. After a few years, you replace the filter for a fraction of the cost of a front element. And when selling your lens, a pristine front element significantly improves resale value. Hopefully, all of this information makes it obvious that a UV filter is an absolute necessity, and it's not just another accessory that the camera store is trying to sell to you. So the important question is, which UV filter should you buy? NiSi has released multiple UV generations over the years. Some are discontinued, others are current. To avoid confusion, we'll show them chronologically on screen so you can see what is current and what is older technology. We stock 3 primary protection filters: UHC UV, Armor FX, and Air UV. Being in South Africa, our pricing will obviously be in Rand. For dollar pricing, we recommend you check out B&H. So let's break them down clearly. The UHC UV, which launched in 2023, is NiSi's best affordable protection filter. It offers 99.3% transmittance and is made from what NiSi calls water-white optical glass. While not an optical pro glass, it is of a much higher standard, color integrity, and transmittance than you would normally find in budget UV filters. The UHC UV features all the critical nanocoatings on both sides, which make it scratch-resistant, hydrophobic, and resistant to internal reflections behind the filter. It has knurled edges to help with installation and removal, and the filter is mounted in an aluminium frame, which keeps costs down. At 999 Rand for 82mm, it typically costs under 5% of most lenses. If you're looking for affordable, reliable protection, this is our top recommendation, and it is also our best-selling filter. When you move into premium options, the decision becomes application-specific. We stock both of NiSi's flagship protection filters, the Armor FX and the Air UV. And each product has its own distinct features. But the key difference comes down to the glass. The Armor FX is designed for severe impact scenarios like motorsport debris, mountain biking, or industrial environments. It was pioneered in the cinema industry, where it is known as the explosion-proof filter, and it has been used there since 2018, where it is trusted as the last line of defense in front of lenses that cost tens of thousands of dollars. It features 99% transmittance, a brass frame, which is more stable under temperature variation, and a full nano coating system. If you shoot in extreme environments or manage rental lenses, then this is the appropriate filter for you. The Air UV represents the pinnacle of NiSi's optical technology. It's called the Air UV because the glass is close to invisible. This filter is made with the trusted and proven HK9L optical pro glass, made by CDGM, which is China's leading optical glass manufacturer. This glass, combined with NiSi's new ULRC coating technology, brings a new level of optical transmittance to the market. The optical clarity is so high that the glass appears almost invisible, hence the name Air UV. Transmittance at the center of the filter within the targeted light spectrum is an astonishing 99.99%. When averaged for the entire surface of the filter, it is still 99.6%, which outperforms anything else on the market. And this is where the engineering really matters. The filter features a total of 48 layers of coatings, and these coatings serve a variety of purposes. They resist scratches and surface wear, repel liquids, make it easy to clean, filter out UV light, and prevent any optical effects from reflections. The Air UV has an ultra-thin brass frame, a knurled edge, and a beautiful silver finish that looks great on any lens. Another great feature is that every unit is put through a photospectrometer test for quality control, ensuring that each filter meets this rigorous standard. This filter is designed for photographers and filmmakers who want maximum optical performance without compromising protection. If you have invested your hard-earned money in the latest and greatest cameras and lenses, then you should be getting Air UV to keep your lenses pristine. If you're the kind of person who wants the full spec sheet, here it is on the screen, and you can see some key information there compared between the filters. And then here's the South African pricing for all 3 filters across all thread sizes. It's worth noting that thanks to a stronger rand, we recently dropped the prices of most of these filters by between 20 to 30%. If you're looking to purchase any of these filters in South Africa, you can visit nisioptics.co.za or one of our authorized dealers. A friendly reminder always to call a dealer before you make the effort of driving through, but for those in Cape Town, we can assure you that ORMS almost always has stock of Air UV and UHC UV as we replenish their stock weekly. If you found this video helpful and would like to stay up to date with new releases and detailed filter guides, consider subscribing so you don't miss future updates. Thank you for watching and take good care of your lenses.